Okay, let's react to this together. Haven't seen it. This is Star Citizen's latest video. Content driven. What a bunch of fucking assholes. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly that they have no content, that it is embarrassing. So, yeah, of course, content driven. Let's check it out together. Let's see what this is about.
If you watched last week's 3-hour special edition of Star Citizen Live, you heard a lot about the evolution of this year's patches, how often they're going to come out, and how our shows are changing to reflect that. And if you didn't, well, I'm not really going to recap all that here. But this week, we sat down with some of the non-feature folk to talk about the content-driven side of this new initiative.
Why are we even doing this anymore? Let me emphasize. It is not the fucking game. They show video clips, trailers that they produce, they put together. This is like the crap about them being all over YouTube now. Are you bombarded constantly by Star Citizen ads? Yeah? Well, that's money. I mean, it is insane. It's stupid what they're doing. I don't want to get even further but it is insane. And these things, no, this is not the experience of playing the game. They just lie about this shit. It is like that parody that I showed you guys.
Where did this idea of a content-driven push come from?
Well, as we sort of alluded to in the 1.0 presentation at CitizenCon, there's been a desire to get more emphasis on starting to build the storylines and the characters of Star Citizen Universe and getting them actually in game.
The way the content patches are going to break down are we're ultimately trying to provide new content to you each month. Alongside all of this, we're going to be...
Each month? New content each month? You haven't provided any new real content in years.
Essentially providing new missions, new events, kind of a lot of what we've done before.
Oh, so more bullshit. You'll make me go across the entire fucking system, wasting 20 minutes to go shoot someone. That is your idea of new content. Go fuck yourself, guy. I don't know whose name is.
But taking it up to the next level.
This was an opportunity to start figuring out ways to engage the players in a growing and expanding storyline.
We're going to be sending you all the way around the verse, doing
oh,
lots of varied types of
motherfucker.
gameplay. You'll still be doing events that are prevalent to a story that we're going to be working on as well.
I got you covered!
As well as new missions that build up the existing roster that we actually have in game already.
Oh yeah, you have to buy that.
There
Yeah,
will be
sure.
some content that is only there for a limited amount of time, but ultimately a lot of this content is still going to persist when we hit to Star Citizen 1.0. So we're actually building out the larger content map that exists in the game. On top of that, there's going to be a huge focus now on stability and quality of life too, because we want a stable environment for our developers to work in, but we also want a stable game that's less buggy, less crashes, and much more pleasant for you guys to play day to day.
Yeah, you failed. You fucking failed at everything.
What's the word? Today's been rough.
As far as the structure for how we're going to tell the story, one of the things that we were kind of excited to try for it was actually utilizing a storytelling structure that's usually used in TV shows. Basically, there's usually an A story and a B story that happen within a single episode. If you're Seinfeld, you have a C story as well, because they're just that good. But there's the A story is sort of your primary story, your B story is sort of a supplemental ancillary story that sometimes can feed into it, but sometimes can be standalone. And it's just a way to kind of keep the scenes dynamic and kind of make them feel alive. So what we're trying to do is actually utilize kind of a similar thing, but stretched out over a longer period of time. And the idea being that A, it makes the universe feel bigger. So there's not just one thing happening that's consuming the entire universe. But also, if you're not interested in the A story, if for whatever reason it's not engaging you, you have something else that you can kind of do. So the idea is that hopefully that one of the two stories, hopefully both, but if not, one of the two stories will be fun and exciting and kind of offer a new insight to the Star Citizen universe. Currently, the plan is actually that the A story, we've already started it, and is actually going to be going through September. And then the B story is a little bit smaller, but it starts basically in April and goes on. So it's a multi-month thing. So it goes
September? He said it starts in September? What happened with every month?
It's on until about October. Once this A story and B story kind of resolve themselves, we have a new A story that starts up and a new B story, so we sort of bounce back and forth. So some months we'll have more B story than A story, some other months we'll have more A story than B story, but it gives us a way to kind of, again, pull in a lot of different facets of the universe, and whether it's gameplay, mission types, ships, and not have to figure out one overarching narrative that somehow encapsulates everything.
This doesn't replace that big storyline that we talked about at CitizenCon.
No, this doesn't replace that, the 1.0 story, but it is actually kind of offering an exciting opportunity to kind of lay the groundwork.
Oh dear God, they have nothing. Guys, they have nothing. This thing is dying. This is dying at a scary rate. They have nothing whatsoever. They're trying to pull shit out of their asses and pretend they have content for September, or God knows when the fuck that's going to be. And it's going to be yet another go shoot this guy or move this box stupid ass mission that has you wasting 15-20 minutes of your life in quantum travel when it works. Because obviously, well, you cannot. This is depressing. This is sad. I mean, I'm not even angry with... Well, I am a little bit angry, given that they're part of this fucking scam, but Jesus Christ,
that
man.
type of storytelling in the game.
What is this story so far? What are you even talking about?
Save Stanton is an event that spans over a few months, and it is all about a...
Who is this person? Are they still pulling people from fucking Fiverr to make the game? We don't have anyone here that has any experience making anything. This is...
gang that has invaded Stanton, and it's not one of the usual ones either. It's not one of the usual suspects.
So this started in 324, where we made this
you
narrative
idiot.
journey that players will go on.
The big story beat was that there was a new outlaw pack sort of showed up in Stanton's system and was wreaking havoc. They were known as the Slicers, and were launching basically devastating attacks against the local population.
Targeting cargo ships, stealing cargo, targeting different locations around Stanton, such as UGFs and outposts, inhabiting them, and also going around stealing sensitive data that the CDF do not want them to have.
The CDF had got all of the players to come and help. After the players sort of stopped them from doing that, the Slicers had showed their power and showed what they was really about and brought in an Idris that players had to try and reclaim off of them.
The viciousness of the attacks and the sort of unprovoked aspect of it is just sort of highlighting effectively what the problem is with Pyro, is that you have this sort of lawless haven for outlaws.
Wow, so Pyro is lawless? Can you please repeat that 500 times more, like every day? Yeah, the last 4 or 5 years of repeating that bullshit was not enough. You just keep on telling that Pyro is lawless and crazy and super dangerous. That's gonna have create the illusion of actual fucking content, which you don't have.
Right next door to Stanton, and basically they have the freedom to kind of come and attack when they want to.
So these people just lived in it and decided to come to another place and make it normal?
Some people just love chaos.
With 401, the player will find themselves in Pyro, ready to defend it or attack it. Depending on which one you've chosen, you'll be locked into that faction. So you can choose the Citizens for Prosperity, the Headhunters, or the Frontier Fighters. If you're working for the Citizens of Prosperity, you're doing more aid work.
Just deliver 3 boxes. Basically, it's... I mean, other than all of this bullshit is... deliver 3 boxes, go kill these guys, and that's their bullshit about the new game content driven. That's them being content driven, guys.
If you're working for the Citizens of Prosperity, you're doing more aid work. You're there to help people. You're not really doing much much combat work. They're trying to make sure everyone survives this by passing out food, water, medical supplies.
They're basically like, we believe that there's good in this system, there are certainly bad elements, but you're just going to exacerbate the problem by trying to solve it with violence.
And the headhunters are an old-time gang who've lived there for a long time. They know the land, they know the rules, and they're unhappy that these rules are being crossed.
Headhunters would want you in their group because they kick ass and they're fun to hang out with.
So they're on the offensive. They're here and they're going, you're not attacking our home. They're basically going to be just trying to kill the frontier fighters. And the frontier fighters want everybody dead. They're going nuclear Earth. You will be killing civilians. You will be killing headhunters. You'll be killing Xenothreat. They don't care who. If you are in Pyro and you're not them, you're dead.
What's up the frontier fighters' ass?
A lot of explosives.
They're perfect for someone like the Darklaw. I don't know what that says about him.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Frontier fighters is basically justice for Stanton.
They just want to live life.
Nothing really new. No new real content. No new locations. The same shit that we have in Pyro, which is embarrassingly bad. No new enemies, no new bosses, no new armor. It's just the same shit. The same shit for years. Changing a color here and there. Oh, what is it? The helmet, the skull? That's the one they use in all of their trailers. That's the new thing they did. One fucking helmet. That's the new content we got. All right.
Stanton without being interrupted every 5 seconds. They want to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Are you being honest about the frontier fighters right now?
No. The Citizens for Prosperity have seemingly found something out, but they're not telling you as an operative exactly what. They are sending you to defend their data runners, and they're trying to get them out of Pyro, and they're asking you to go on the offensive now and attack the frontier fighters. Which isn't usual for the CFP. They're trying to be more of a peaceful group in this operation, but now they're not.
Fucking terrible FPS.
And the frontier fighters are aware of this data that the CFP have. They have reported that they think it's to do with their attack plan on Pyro. So they're
data on the attack plan.
asking their operatives to take out the data runners that the CFP...
Even their bullshit is starting to suck. Even their lies are laughable at this point.
They're trying to get out.
I'll cover you.
And also destroy any CFP-controlled servers to make sure that the data is gone and lost for good.
And the headhunters?
Headhunters, again, carrying on their violent approach of sustaining their locations, reclaiming their locations. Where frontier fighters might have set up, they will go back in and explode every material that they had.
This is already the phase 2, is it, from the Pyro thing? Terrible, fucking horrible. You waste 15-20 minutes of your life going from one end to the other, pointlessly so. And what, shooting it from the ship because it's pointless to get engaged in the worst FPS in video games?
So they can get their outpost back. At the end of all this, you'll learn things.
You might learn a few things about the intentions of each of those factions. You might learn something more about
I'm
yourself,
so intrigued.
And what moral choices you decided to make. And ways that us designers...
The game is dying, right? Can you just tell us that you're going fucking bankrupt? What is it? You're just about to go broke? All right.
Clear. At the end of this chapter, this leaves us with the truth of what was really happening. And sets the stage for something more to come. The story doesn't end here.
No, it is very fascinating.
The way that this story ultimately is intending to play out, there are actually going to be real ramifications based on the group community choices that are made. So that will actually change the direction of the universe. Or it can either go one way or it can go the other way. So we're actually going to be playing around a lot with ways that players can decide how they want the universe to change. So moving forward, there's going to be a bit of a twist that comes down the road, which is going to escalate basically the situation into one of our first big events.
Give me I'll write it. I'll write it in my big old book of things I don't give a flying fuck about. Okay, the mysteries of Pyro, how this will affect the universe, and wow, I'm so intrigued by the bullshit that will probably not even work. And it's another fucking time waste of 15 minutes into quantum travel to go and shoot someone or take a box. Awesome. Okay, I took note right now that, I just don't want to forget it,
With this, it basically allows us to plan out a bit more and actually, again, start to build a growing narrative.
Giving players more of a reason to engage and be able to talk to each other and like, hey, where did you get that item from? Oh, I was here when this happened. I was here when this happened. Definable points in our universe's history. It adds to the universe. It adds to the story of it all.
It adds to the story.
You as a player help build this world out.
So I'm really excited about the changes coming in. It's going to allow us to get more
you look excited, man.
fun content in your hands more often. And it's going to provide a much more stable environment for us to work in, but also for you to play in as well.
Up until this point, we've actually been honing in on gameplay mechanics and more kind of under the hood stuff. We have a lot of data.
They've been working on under the hood stuff. That's why we don't have fucking elevators working. That's why nothing actually works. That's why you cannot even fucking quantum travel to do a fucking stupid mission that is exactly the same one that they're now hyping, which is nothing. But they've been working at it.
To kind of do the heavy lifting for storytelling now. This is allowing us to kind of push on those other facets as a way to kind of be higher impact storytelling techniques.
Yeah, you can tell. Very impressive, guys. Very impressive bullshit. It's not even good bullshit. It's lame, shitty, embarrassingly low quality bullshit. It's not even like, wow, you're like, you're fooling me, huh? No, it is embarrassing that they're even talking about this. Every month they will have it's gonna be a new mission of taking 3 boxes and go shoot someone in a settlement. Wow, that sounds super interesting. Yeah. Okay, take care.